So you're running your business on Odoo, but your accounting is stuck over in QuickBooks or Sage. Sound familiar? You know the headache. Well, today we're going to break down exactly how to connect them, and we'll focus specifically on getting it right for Canadian businesses. I mean, are you tired of it? Spending hours manually copying invoices, hunting down those tiny data entry errors, or even worse, making huge financial decisions based on information that's already a week old? Yeah, if that's you, stick around. We're going to show you how to finally automate that mess and get a real-time pulse on your business. Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll get right to the heart of the problem with disconnected data. Then, we'll look at the three main paths you can take to fix it. After that, I'm going to walk you through a solid 9-step plan. We'll dive into the critical details of Canadian taxes, and we'll wrap up by looking at the right tools for the job. Let's dive in. All right, let's start with the big one, the disconnected data problem. Before we can even think about solutions, we have to be super clear on what we're actually up against. And really, it all comes down to a disconnect. Just think about it for a second. Your operations team is firing on all cylinders in Odoo. Sales, inventory, projects. But your finance team is completely cut off, living on a separate island. This gap, it's not just a little inefficient. It's where errors are born, and it means you're always making decisions looking in the rear-view mirror. But here's the good news. You do not have to live with those data islands. You can absolutely build a bridge. So let's explore the three main ways you can build that bridge and get your systems talking to each other. You've basically got two main philosophies here. On one hand, you can build a totally custom connection using a direct API. Think of this like hiring an architect to design a one-of-a-kind bridge. You get total control, total flexibility. On the other hand, you can use a pre-built solution, like middleware or a connector. This is more like using a prefabricated bridge. It's way faster and simpler if your needs are pretty standard. So how do you choose which one's right for you? Well, this slide makes it pretty simple. If you've got a lot of custom fields and unique things going on in Odoo, or you need that data to sync literally instantly, that direct API is probably your best friend. Now, if you're dealing with massive scale, tons of data, multiple systems, and you need serious monitoring, that's where middleware shines. And if you're just thinking, look, my needs are basic, I just want this done fast, then a connector is for sure your quickest win. Okay, so you've picked your path. Now for what is, honestly, the most important part of this whole thing, the plan. A successful integration isn't magic, you know? It's a disciplined, step-by-step process that makes this whole thing feel manageable. The first 5 steps are all about laying a rock-solid foundation. Seriously, you can't skip this. First, you lock down your scope. Decide exactly what data moves and which way it moves. Then, you meticulously map out every single Canadian tax code. You align your chart of accounts. You set up tight security. And then you use webhooks, which are just a fancy name for automatic notifications, to trigger your syncs in real time. This prep work is non-negotiable. Once that foundation is solid, then you get to build. You create the logic to handle all the little details, like currencies and rounding. And this one is huge. You have to define what happens when something breaks, because things will break. From there, you move your data over in smart stages. And for the final step, you run a pilot. You run both systems side by side to test, reconcile, and make sure everything is perfect before you flip the final switch. A great plan is one thing, but for any business in Canada, success really comes down to the details. And those details are almost always about our unique tax situation and a few classic mistakes that are so easy to avoid. Okay, this is a big one, so lean in. This is where so many of these projects go wrong. You have to encode the specific tax rules for each province. GST, HST, QST for Quebec, PST for BC, all of it. That means mapping your tax IDs between systems perfectly and making sure your integration can handle things like compound taxes. If you get this wrong, you're just creating a compliance nightmare down the road. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? When these projects fail, it's almost always for one of 3 reasons. The taxes are a mess, you're creating duplicate customers all over the place, or the data is syncing at the wrong time and causing chaos. And what's great is that there are clear, proven solutions for all of these problems. To fix tax mismatches, create a single source of truth for your tax codes. To stop duplicates, use unique IDs to match records so you're updating, not creating new ones. To solve timing issues, use those real-time webhooks, but also run a check every night just in case. And for currency, lock it down to 2 decimal places. Simple, effective fixes. All right, so with a strong plan in hand and a clear idea of what to avoid, let's ask the final question. How do the actual software platforms themselves stack up when you're getting ready to integrate? This table is really interesting when you dig into it. It shows that, yeah, all these systems can be integrated, but they have different DNA. QuickBooks, Xero, and Sage are fantastic, focused accounting tools with Canadian taxes built right in. Odoo's strength, though, is its incredible flexibility. It's built to be that central ERP hub that everything else can connect to. So if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. A successful integration is about disciplined planning and having clear rules for your data. It's not just about the tech you pick. At the end of the day, the process is way more important than the platform. We've just laid out the entire blueprint for you. The plans, the warnings, the strategy to connect your operational world with your financial world. We've given you everything you need to build the bridge. The only question left is, are you ready to start building?